Obviously, there's still quite a few things I need to learn about vlogging. That was me, 1 year ago. Hi. 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 My name is Nathan. I'm a professional. At what, you may ask? You may know me from such classics as... That's right. It's time to face a new... This is where we're at.
Now the main problem area is up here.
3 crazy facts about gramophones that you'll remember until you forget. Now, you may be wondering how someone like that could possibly turn into someone like me. I think it's time I address some drama that has recently consumed this channel and has left me feeling just insurmountable guilt. Guys, the last time I posted a video, I said some things I should never have said.
I'm gonna aim for one devlog video per month.
You lying? Yeah.
And I'm also going to try to make one short video in between.
Lies! Lies! When will the lies end?
Guys, I'm just so sorry. There. Glad that's behind us now and we can move on. My lawyers have advised I put this disclaimer now, which will only appear for one brief moment and will not appear again. Also, I spent all of our budget on this intro, so I'm gonna have to let AI edit the rest of this video.
Time to get spooky.
Alright, just let me get into character here.
Well, howdy do there, farmer. Welcome to my humble cornfield. Today we's gonna wrangle ourselves up some mighty fine corn stalks, see?
Alright, that was probably a lot less funny than I hoped it would be, but Alright guys, well, welcome to a new day. I have completed my mission of re-rigging the corn stalk, or at least the first one. So as you can see here, I've set up all the bones. I simplified them quite a bit on the leaves, just because they're not going to move that much and it would be kind of a waste of resources to have all these extra bones on them that I'm not going to use. So just to kind of show you how it works, I can grab these bones here and I can much more easily animate them like blowing in the wind. And the corn stalk itself can bend. Look how gracefully it wobbles around in the wind. Beautiful. And so I created a little animation with that I can use in game. So you can see here, just kind of something very subtle, just leaning a bit. I animated only one of the leaves so far just so I could test it out first, and I'm going to go back and tweak it a little bit and also work on the other leaves as well. So after all of that, I had to begin the scary process of exporting it over to Unreal Engine, which is always a pain because you never know how many issues are going to pop up and if there's going to be any easy fixes for them or not. Sometimes it's just a lot of trial and error and hoping for the best. And I definitely ran into a few issues, so let me go ahead and show you guys now. So the model and everything came in just fine. There were no issues there. As you can see, this is the corn stalk. These other ones here are the old corn stalks, but this one here that's highlighted is the new one that I just brought in. I brought in all the textures and everything as well, but Blender and Unreal kind of read textures a bit differently, so it looks a little bit off. Maybe you guys can't tell, but like there's too much glossiness and stuff like that, so I'm gonna have to redo the texture, not redo the texture, but set them up again and tune the numbers and everything so it looks right again. But in any case, the model and the skeleton and everything was able to import just fine. But once I did the animation, so when I go over and change this to use the animation asset that I imported, it vanished. And I have no idea. Well, I have an idea now, but I had no idea at the time where it went. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, where did it go? Why is it invisible? Did I not export the animation correctly? What I ended up realizing was very simple and very stupid, but I was trying to figure out if I could find it, and what's that there? If I can... Okay, you can't even see it still because this is blocking it. But the cornstalk was tiny. That was it. It wasn't invisible, it was just too small to see. Because for some reason, animations from Blender, when you bring them into Unreal Engine, scale down. And I looked online and it seems to be a common bug for people. And I couldn't find any really good solutions for it. So for the time being, at least, it seems like I'm just gonna have to scale up every animation every time. But that's not too bad of news, really. It's actually kind of good because it means it's still working. All I have to do is scale it up and I can use it again. So yeah, so now it's scaled up to the size it's supposed to be. And when I press play now, and I go up to it, it should be animating very, very subtly. Yeah, I can see the leaf waving around there. Yeah. So there we go. It's all done. It's all set up. The only thing I have left to do now is go back into Blender, rig up the rest of the corn stalks, do some more animations with them, and then tidy up everything in Unreal Engine, and then I will have a whole selection of corn stalks and animations to choose from.
Two 2,000 years later.
Guys, it has been well over a month since I recorded my last update video for this. And there's a lot more to do and a lot more to talk about, but for the time being, I just want to bask in the glory of what I've accomplished. Because we did it. We finished the corn stalks. Okay, we finished the corn stalks, but let me just walk you guys through them here. So there's 6 variations. There's a corn stalk. This is another corn stalk. Believe it or not, this is another corn stalk, and there's 3 more over there. But yeah, look at that. 6 unique corn stalks. All the modeling is done, all the texturing and everything was already done. But it just looks so nice all put together. I finished posing all of the leaves and just finishing the painfully slow work, the monotonous work of rigging them, getting them ready for animation. So they're not just static models, as you probably noticed already on this one over here. Unlike the other ones, this one's actually moving. It's all rigged, it's all ready for animation, and I just can't wait to finish the rest of them. However, there's still a few roadblocks, and one of them is optimization. Because, as you guys know, this is my first time with a lot of this stuff, and as an artist first, I kind of just think about the visuals of things, and I don't really consider much, or in some cases I don't even know that I'm supposed to consider certain things for the future. So optimization was one of those stumbling blocks for me, I'm realizing now, where these models are just way too complex. So especially when they're going to be all over the scene, like dozens of them, maybe even hundreds of them, I don't know how many are going to be loaded in at a time. It's going to become pretty clunky pretty fast, I think. So I really have to focus on making them a lot simpler, removing a lot of the polygons, and hopefully that will help the game run smoothly when it's all put together. But there's good news in that regard, because believe it or not, this one that's animated over here is already fully optimized. And you probably didn't even notice, I hope, because it didn't even really change how it looks that much. It took me probably about an hour for this one, so I'm guessing, again, about an hour of work for each cornstalk just to do all the optimization work. And then after that's done, I'll animate them. And the good news too is that the optimization doesn't affect the rig at all, so I can still animate them the same way, with or without the optimization work, which also means I could technically animate them first and then optimize them and it should still work. Or if I optimize them and then animate them and then decide I need to unoptimize them again for some reason, I should be able to just apply the rig and animations to the original versions again. But one of the things I'm optimizing for, if you guys remember, is I couldn't figure out why, but originally when I made the corn stalks, the leaves were just two-dimensional and just flat. And when I originally brought them into Unreal Engine, they were transparent from certain angles or on certain sides, and I didn't know why. And at the time I couldn't find a solution for some reason. But more recently I discovered there's actually a really easy solution. So the main part of my optimization pass is just removing one of the layers from the leaves. Because if you didn't know, the more polygons, like the more faces and details in the model, the harder it is for your computer to render that. And having it be three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional on these leaves basically doubles the polygon count, because there's a surface on top and a surface on bottom now, instead of just one on top. And in addition to that, having those two surfaces, you have to connect them. So there's also more polygons, more faces in between. And so it doubles the polygon count for essentially the same result. So like I said, I've gone through though on this one already. I deleted one of the sides of each leaf and figured out how to make it so that in Unreal Engine it actually shows the texture on both sides properly. It's not too bad though. It just means whenever I animate the corn stalks, I have to spend a little bit of time beforehand doing all the optimization work. And after that's done, I will return to my desired goal next of setting up like an atmospheric scene with all the right lighting and everything. So yeah, look forward to that, and I will continue my work. See you in a bit. Alright, so I figured I should hop in real quick just to demonstrate to you guys what I'm talking about when I'm referring to optimizing my cornstalk models. Just to give you guys a few more details, because it is fairly complicated and has a lot of steps, but luckily I have figured out sort of a methodology to it. So to start with, obviously here's my cornstalk model. I haven't done anything to it yet. It is still unoptimized. And the first thing I've been doing is, as I mentioned, going in and removing one side of the leaves. Because as you can see here in a more close-up, it has two layers to it. There's a top layer and a bottom layer, and it's connected here in the middle. And we don't need two surfaces because they're so flat anyway. They might as well just be a perfectly flat sheet. So the first thing I do is right where the seam is, where the edge is I'm just taking and highlighting these edges and then just deleting that with all the vertices, because when I come back out, you can see now it's removed one part of one of the layers, and I can see the other layer. The rest of the layer is just hovering here, so it makes it easier to select all of those and delete them after. But in any case, let me go down here, because these don't get selected when I try to select the full loop, unfortunately. And again, I have to do this for every single leaf on every single cornstalk, so I mean, it's my own fault. I did this to myself, but here we are. But like I said, as long as I know what I'm doing and I have a clear step-by-step process forward, it makes it a lot easier. Good. So with that done, I can bring back the texture view. And now once again, I can see the extra faces that are just kind of hanging on there. And now I can just go in and select all of those. Yeah, that's right. Now I delete all that and voila. Suddenly we have a leaf that only has one side. So we've just effectively halved the amount of polygons on it. At least, I think more than half, because the sides also count. So it has been greatly reduced just from doing that, and yet it pretty much looks exactly the same still. So, win-win. But I still have some more to do. So first I'm going to go through and I'm going to finish doing this for all of the other leaves. Alright, well, that was long and painful, but it's over now, so we can move on to the next step, which is decimating the geometry. So basically, decimating the geometry involves just breaking it down into simpler shapes that roughly make the same overall shape. Because right now, as you can see, there's a lot of tiny rectangles in there, which are really useful for me when I'm modeling and shaping it. But now that it's kind of in place already, what I can do is I can go ahead and decimate it, and you'll see it change here. For most of the leaves, I think 0.2 works. And you'll see it kind of changed, and you can't tell what changed yet because it doesn't apply to the edit mode yet, so I can't actually see. It still looks the same here. But as soon as I do apply it, now you see it's turned it into a bunch of bigger triangles. And as you can see, if I go back and undo it, under the decimate box here, it tells you how many faces there are. So right now there's 79, that's after I decimated it. So it took it down from 230 to 79. That's like, what, a third the amount, roughly? 1/3 the amount of faces now, and it looks pretty much identical. And then if you take into account all the faces I got rid of when I removed the second layer off the leaf, we've basically, like, I'm gonna assume there was at least about 500 faces at the start. So that's like less than 1/5 the amount of faces now. And again, for pretty much the same result, more or less. So now we can hopefully get better performance out of these and still have them look really good in game. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that to the rest of the leaves and even the stalk here as well, just everything really. And from there I can finally animate it, and I will show you guys what that all looks like very, very soon, I hope. Alright, so let me just finish this up.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great. I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Alright, hey guys, it is Whisper ASMR time again. Don't worry, I'll keep it short in case this is just nails on a chalkboard in your ears right now. But, also no face cam right now. It's pretty late. Anyway, I thought I would just stop by, cause I'm just having fun playing around with some animations. Really simple stuff, but I mean, it's so satisfying. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that. I made it spin. Oh my god. Yeah, so anyway. Also don't mind this texture. I know this is not what a vinyl is supposed to look like, but it was the best I could do at the time, so I'm probably gonna change that later. Yeah, so just some fun, cool stuff. Look at that.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. I just thought I would show you guys because it's really, really satisfying. Just seeing these little details come together, especially when it works the first time. And so yeah, I'm working on a few little things like this, and hopefully it will all come together into something really cool. Yeah, so I will be right back with some more progress, I guess. She's animated, baby.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh my gosh. Look the way it wobbles around. It just adds a nice little touch of detail to it. She's looking gorgeous.
Oh my god, guys. Okay. I don't even know where to put my face cam for this, honestly. Down here, I think, should work. Let me just show you guys, I guess. So, I decided I wasn't done working yet, even though it's been way too long since my last upload, but you know, that's how motivation goes sometimes. I decided the scene needed a few extra details in it, and there were a few things that I've been planning on working on for a while. So I made some moths to fly around the lamppost. Just a really, really basic model and a really simple rig because I just needed the wings to flap and for me to move it around and rotate it basically. And then just spent like an hour making a couple animations like this so it can have so I can put a few different moths in and have some variety in how they move. Yeah, so let me show you what the final product actually looks like though. Ooh, this is so exciting. Okay, so I've been messing around with this a lot the last couple of days. Like, I barely even slept last night because I've just been trying to get it absolutely perfect. But anyway, let me show you guys. And I left my audio muted. It does have sound effects, which you'll see in just a second here once I'm done talking over it. But you'll at least see the animations. There you go. So there are the moths. Oh, it just looks so good. I really hope that the ambience I'm going for makes sense and works the way that I'm imagining it. But yeah, you guys feel free to let me know if you think this is like a really nice, atmospheric, creepy farm vibe like I'm trying to aim for. Or if you think that it could use a few different details, like some different lighting or different animations. There's a few little details I still need to add to it. Things like debris and broken corn stalks. Like the ground is just a texture that I took off of a free texture website for the ground right now, just as a placeholder so I could do this. And then of course the scarecrow is the main prop that's still missing from this. But I'm going to do those later on. I just really wanted to set up the environment first. And yeah, oh, also I forget if I showed you guys this already. I probably did.
She's animated, baby.
Oh yeah, I showed you guys in my whispery midnight video last night. But in any case, now you can actually see the spinning turntable in game. Okay, these automatic collisions that it sets up are not doing it for me. I can't get close enough to it. But anyway, you can still see. You get the idea. And obviously the corn stalks, which were the thing that took me many, many months to finish. But here they are. And honestly, like, I was worried that the animations for them were going to look disconnected, I guess. Like they would all kind of be blowing in different directions and wouldn't look like it was coming from the same source of wind or anything. But when I see it together, they look like it's obvious that they're blowing in the wind, but it doesn't distract you and it doesn't look weird to me, at least. I am so stoked to have everything in game. It's so unreal. Unreal, get it. It's so unreal to have all the stuff that I've been working on separately for long periods of time and putting it all together and tying it together with all these cool details like the moths and yeah, just adding the lighting in and the mood and the audio, which again you guys are about to hear, but yeah. So anyway, before I show you guys the final thing with the audio, I figure I'll just let you guys know sort of my next steps and everything. For sure, the next step is going to be learning Unreal Engine again. Well, not learning it again, but I mean going back over the blueprint system and the coding in Unreal Engine, because I've mostly forgotten all of it. And I didn't really spend a lot of time practicing it after I learned it the first time. So I'm definitely going to find another course, probably a different one, and just go over all of the basics. And hopefully that will give me enough practice and new knowledge so that I can actually start piecing these things together in a game format, essentially, since this is basically just a moving wallpaper right now. And then after that, of course, thinking a little bit too far into the future now, but it's exciting to think about it anyway. And I'm thinking about all the maze props, like Halloween kind of props, and all the different scarecrows and things like that I can make and put into the level and animate them and have them trigger by the player walking in different directions or looking in different directions. And just creating some really, really fun and scary interactive experiences. Hope you guys hang around to check that stuff out as I finally start putting the game part of this indie horror game together. And I hope you guys enjoy the very moody atmospheric progress that I've made so far. So I will catch you guys in the next video.
My stitched smile fading, with time it goes, yet here I remain as the cold wind blows. I'm just a figure of sticks and seams, alone with my thoughts and broken dreams. Clothes worn and tattered, arms open wide, I embrace silence with nowhere to hide. These fields round me swaying gently, I watch them grow, but still I know I'm just a guardian standing solely far 'neath the stars they look sharp. Each dusk I'm yearning, ever learning, no one stops by beneath the sky. Moonlight, my friend, on you I depend, in the twilight hours until night's end. A faded hat and a heart that's unseen, lost in the past, in a world in between. I hear the whispers of the cornstalk song, keeping the rhythm all night long. Tales untold in the rustling leaves, under the harvest golden eaves. I'm just a fixture in the slow, sad scene, stuck in the still in a world of green. My straw-filled head dreams of days gone by, stars through the stitches in the fabric sky.